What up, y'all? It's your boy, Red Uncle Tez, coming right at y'all straight from the couch. Now, y'all know I'm a little green at this, so I'm going to have to ask y'all to do one thing for me. Y'all know what that is. Bear with me. Bear with me. Now, everything I comment on in any video that I post is strictly based on my opinion and my opinion alone, which is the reason why I post videos, to get y'all's reactions. With that being said, let's get to the bottom, because we already at the top. Now today, we got a young lady by the name of LaShonda Childs, 17 years old. Beautiful young lady, business owner, victim of domestic violence. It's horrible, because these days it goes beyond domestic violence. It's not just the run-of-the-mill, you know, what you think when you hear domestic violence. This is like a trend. I don't know what's up with these weird young men out here killing all of the sisters. But all the real brothers gonna have to stand up and do something about it. You feel me? All right then, let's get into this.
Y'all, this got me so f***ed up. Like, I just woke up. I'm talking about 20 messages back to back, screenshots, this about you, this and that, this and that. Like, man, this whole 11 years older than me. I'm 17, he 28. What the f*** is you doing on Facebook? Over here trying to, you feel me? Like, you make yourself look stupid. This mad because I don't want to come over his house because he got fleas. Like, I really need a brother so he can go over there and be his. Don't got no car. He don't got no house. He live with his sister, man, and his mama. Like, wow. I'm not about to keep doing this with the same. Like,
man, we got to stop this right here, because man, that's ridiculous. Like, literally, the man got fleas. He don't got his own crib. He don't got no car. And he's probably living off this 17-year-old young lady. Us as a people got to do better, man. You know, she had no reason messing with this bum. You feel me? And it hurts my soul. Man, let's get back into it.
Where my restraining order at? He already violating restraining order. Like, baby, I do not do this.
A mother says her daughter's killer threatened the teen for months before he eventually shot her. 17-year-old LaShonda Childs died early this morning after the shooting we brought you as breaking news yesterday afternoon.
Childs said her daughter hoped to be free of a man that terrorized her for the last year. She says LaShonda dated Trendell Goodwin a couple times in September of last year, but he told her he was just 20 years old. Childs says her daughter told her Goodwin turned her life into a nightmare with controlling, abusive behavior.
He made me walk from our house to his house with a gun pointed at my back. She said I was scared for my life as well as my family's life. He killed her like he said he was.
17-year-old LaShonda Childs was just starting out in life. She was a business owner and had many goals she wanted to achieve, but sadly her life was tragically cut short due to a long-standing and dangerous domestic violence situation involving her 28-year-old ex-boyfriend. Despite multiple efforts to protect herself and seek help, including getting a restraining order, calling the police, and sharing disturbing details of the abuse on social media, LaShonda's ex-boyfriend would resort to the ultimate act of violence by pulling the trigger and taking her life. Why wasn't she protected after so many public pleas for help? Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Dayton, Ohio. 17-year-old LaShonda Childs enjoyed spending time with her friends and would often take over the house with her beauty supplies, waxing eyebrows, doing hair, makeup and nails. She launched her own company, the Beauty Bender LLC, where she offered beauty services. LaShonda was planning to be a cosmetologist, maybe one day opening her own business. The beginning of LaShonda's and Trendell's relationship occurred in September of 2017. LaShonda had been led to believe by Trendell that he was 20 years old, and once she discovered that he had lied about his age, he began exhibiting symptoms of aggressive behavior towards her. February of this year, Trendell bit LaShonda so forcefully that she began bleeding.
Wow.
Following a dispute about text messages involving another lady, Trendell was arrested on February 19th after LaShonda reported to police that he had bit her left shoulder and struck her in the face. Trendell completed 19 days of a 180-day sentence for misdemeanor assault. Trendell was told to stay away from LaShonda, was put on house arrest, and required to seek counseling. Trendell would often take LaShonda's phones and harass her and her family. He was the type of guy who would call you 70 times a day, non-stop. It was aggravating as well as annoying and scary, said LaShonda's mother. According to LaShonda's brother, Trendell continued to contact LaShonda even after their breakup. She was actually in the process of leaving, he said. LaShonda allegedly confided in her mother about Trendell's abuse of her at some point. She told her mother about a time when Trendell made her walk from her house to his house with a gun pointed at her back and how she was scared for her life, as well as her family's life. LaShonda and her family repeatedly asked the police for help. Trendell was on probation for a misdemeanor assault case against LaShonda and was ordered not to see her when he allegedly pulled her hair and wig, set it on fire, and threw it at her, causing burns on September 13, 2018.
Wow.
The burning sensation caused her to drop her phone. Trendell picked the phone up and fled the scene. After this incident, Trendell sent numerous threatening messages to LaShonda and her friends and relatives. Trendell's probation was extended by 1 year, and a criminal protection order that required him to keep 500 feet away from LaShonda was upheld. Court records show that on January 31, 2018, Trendell kidnapped LaShonda. Trendell slapped LaShonda in the face after she told him she was leaving to hang out with a friend. The argument escalated until Trendell threatened to knock LaShonda out. Trendell then kicked her out of his home with little clothing. After LaShonda attempted to make contact with neighbors, she returned to the residence in an attempt to retrieve clothing and shoes. Trendell then dragged LaShonda into the residence and would not allow her to leave. When police officers arrived on scene, LaShonda could be heard from inside the residence, yelling that he would not let her out. Police broke into the home and arrested Trendell. LaShonda made a lengthy post on Facebook on the 21st of September, in which she discussed the risks of disregarding the warning signs of domestic violence. She stated, "All jokes aside though, everybody want a crazy guy until he got you hiding and dodging bullets. If you see the signs, don't ignore it, y'all. Domestic violence is real, not just in movies. This guy done broke several phones, busted windows out, followed me from my house to wherever, bit me several times, threw me into walls, made me walk places with a gun to my back, put all my stuff in a sewer, held me hostage in a house and didn't let me leave, sat and waited at abandoned houses and watched me, pulled my whole sew-in off leaving bald spots, all that. Now he done set my hair on fire and shot my house up. That ain't even half the shit he did. But I'm telling y'all, that ain't where it's at. If y'all see the signs, don't ignore it. I should have left that guy a long time ago. Now I ain't even safe in my own house." Trendell responded to the post saying, "If y'all really believe this shit, y'all sick. This the 12th or 13th time she said I did something but still coming back. Stop it." Trendell had the following response when someone suggested that he should let LaShonda breathe. "I'ma let her breathe today. She better come home tomorrow though. I got a big day planned and some good news." One of the comment threads on the post that raised the most frightening concerns was one in which a friend suggested she block him because he got way too much access to her. LaShonda responded, "Blocking don't help. He stole my phone. He can get access to all my shit." Her friend then told her to leave the city before you end up dead somewhere. LaShonda said, "I am." Less than 2 weeks after LaShonda's troubling Facebook postings, Trendell Goodwin shot and killed her. On October 2nd, Trendell opened fire on LaShonda and her new boyfriend as they were inside a parked car. After receiving a bullet wound to the head, LaShonda's boyfriend rushed her to the hospital. On Wednesday morning, she was declared dead. LaShonda dialed 911 only moments before she and her boyfriend came under fire. "This dude got a gun pointed to my boyfriend's head," LaShonda said on the 911 call. "I've got a restraining order on him. The police told me to call when I see him. I gave you the address. Can't you just send somebody out there? I'm scared. He's got a gun. I can't talk. I'm in a bad situation." LaShonda was fatally shot in the head. The evening after the shooting, Trendell was placed under arrest and was later charged with her murder.
First at 11, the man accused of killing a Dayton teen pleads not guilty.
28-year-old Trendell Goodwin was in Montgomery County Court today, where a judge set his bail at $1 million. He is accused of shooting to death 17-year-old LaShonda Childs while she sat in a parked car on Shoup Avenue.
Also there in court today was Childs' family on what would have been her 18th birthday, and friends of Childs continue to honor her memory as well. 2 News reporter Judith Rotana live in Dayton with our top story at 11.
It's so sad, man.
17-year-old LaShonda Childs was shot on Tuesday and died early Wednesday. Those closest to her still mourning a death that came too soon. LaShonda Childs should have been turning 18 years old today. Police say her life was taken by 28-year-old Trendell Goodwin, who family has described as an ex-boyfriend. On her birthday, Devin Harris shows us a fresh tattoo. R.I.P. LaShonda.
My ex-girlfriend, basically my first love.
Harris says the two met when they were 15 years old.
She hit me up one day, and we ended up chatting online, then we end up meeting up in person.
Now, 3 years later, he and Child's loved ones are trying to cope with their loss. The suspect in her death spent the day in court.
In view of the allegations here, the bond would be $1 million cash or surety.
In a 911 call made by Childs on Tuesday, she said Goodwin had placed a gun to her current boyfriend's head and that she had a restraining order against him. Heavily redacted court documents showed just a few weeks ago a restraining order was filed against him for snatching a woman's phone and wig before setting it on fire and throwing it on her, resulting in major burns. The same document shows 3 days later, the petitioner believed Goodwin fired shots into their house. And Dayton police records say Goodwin allegedly hit and bit Childs back in February. Harris says the loss of Childs still hasn't set in.
It really ain't get an impact to me yet.
Man, this dude crazy, running around biting folks. Like he a dog.
Trendell later decided to plead guilty to LaShonda's murder.
Minutes before a murder trial was set to begin in Montgomery County, it was called off. Instead, a Dayton man accused of shooting and killing his ex-girlfriend admitted to doing it and entered a guilty plea.
And News Center 7's John Bedell walks us through the last-minute plea deal, and he explains what we will see instead of trial testimony this week.
We were expecting a jury to be seated in Trendell Goodwin's murder trial Monday morning, but now this jury box will stay empty in this case because there will be no trial. Goodwin agreed to a plea deal Monday morning, admitting to a murder. LaShonda Childs was 2 days shy of her 18th birthday when she was shot and killed. We now know her ex-boyfriend, Trendell Goodwin, pulled the trigger. Instead of going to trial, he admitted to murdering Childs. Goodwin got into an argument with Childs and her boyfriend at the time in October. This was at a home on Moomaw Avenue in Dayton. Childs called 911 saying she and her boyfriend got into their car and tried to drive away. That's when Goodwin pulled a gun and started shooting. One of the bullets hit Childs in the head. Her boyfriend drove her straight to Grandview Medical Center, where she died. News Center 7 got a hold of court documents in this case that showed Childs and her family went to the police for help about Goodwin multiple times. In fact, less than 2 weeks before her death, Childs posted, quote, "Domestic violence is real," on her Facebook page. The plea agreement says Goodwin pleaded guilty to murder with a firearm specification attached, which will add time to his prison sentence, discharge of a firearm on or near a prohibited premises, and felonious assault with a deadly weapon. The plea document says he agreed to a sentence of 18 years to life in prison, but the judge will have the ultimate say on his punishment.
LaShonda's family gathered in court for Trendell's sentencing.
29-year-old Trendell Goodwin will spend 18 years to life in jail for the murder of 17-year-old LaShonda Childs. He won't be considered for parole until 2038. But Child's mother, Nina, says this can never bring back her daughter.
My daughter no longer have a voice that we can hear.
But it never fully closed the wound. We still have a lot of information that we don't know what happened.
Before her death, LaShonda posted to social media about how scared she was of Goodwin, her ex-boyfriend. She even had a restraining order against him, but it didn't save her life. Child's family says they'll have to carry on as best they can, but they'll never forget LaShonda.
Just trying to move on, live a normal life, you know. We still think about it all the time.
The YWCA of Dayton has several programs and services to help victims of domestic violence. If you are in need of help, call their hotline at 222-SAFE.
LaShonda's death has devastated her family and friends and has caused many on social media to wonder why she wasn't protected when she was obviously crying out for help. She was a young girl who requested help the best way she knew how, and sadly, no one was able to help her. My condolences to her friends and family. She should be here. She should have been protected. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, there is help 24/7. Just call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233, SAFE, for confidential support and resources. You don't have to face this alone. And if you're a friend or family member of someone in an abusive situation, your support can make all the difference. Listen to them, believe them, and help connect them with the resources they need. Seeking help is a brave step, and you shouldn't feel embarrassed or ashamed of getting help. It could be the difference between life and death. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Alright, y'all. That's the end of that one. What y'all think, man? I don't think we got to the bottom at all. I need y'all to help me try to get to the bottom of this. I just think it's real sad that a person can go in jail for narcotics and get 200 years. But a person can do what he did and be out in less than 20. It just makes no sense to me. Like I said, man, we ain't got to the bottom. Domestic violence is real. It's a trend out here with these weird feminine brothers doing this to our women. We got to stop it. All right, y'all. Red Uncle Tez. I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Peace.